Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to our channel. We're Louis and Michelle. If you're new here, we welcome you to our growing community. If you're not new, we're so excited that you're back. In this channel, we talk about wedding photography business tips, as well as film and also our journey.
So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about posing. We're going to talk about 6 poses that you can use in your next couple session or in your next wedding. I know that posing can sometimes be really intimidating, especially when you're first starting out. So we're going to be talking about poses that we like to integrate whenever we're doing a couple session, and how we direct people and give direction so that they can feel comfortable in front of the camera and you can really get those genuine reactions.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of photographers, they do struggle a lot when it comes to posting. I know a lot of photographers that just freak out. They go to their weddings or their sessions and they're like, they just don't know where to begin. So today we're going to talk about some starting poses that will help you build a plan, because you remember, like we said in previous videos, you need to have a plan whenever you go to a couple session or whenever you go to a wedding. Because with a plan, you make sure that your couple or your wedding couple is at ease and they can trust you. So you need to make sure that you build that plan beforehand. So today we're going to talk about this 6 poses. So enjoy this video.
Now, before we begin, make sure if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that like button. If you aren't already subscribed to us, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can be notified the next time that we post another video. So now let's go ahead and get started talking about poses. Now, the first pose that we always like to begin with, and it's a pose that a lot of times can be forgotten. I know it's gonna seem silly once we talk about it, but it can be forgotten if you don't kind of think about it and put it in your plan, is a nice formal photo. Whenever people think about like those photos that people get framed, that your parents have, right? It's always nice to have one nice formal photo where they're looking at the camera and they are smiling. So we always like to start with this photo. This also kind of helps ease the tension with the camera and kind of helps break that ice before you kind of begin and get a little bit more creative with the poses. So for this pose, we always like to start by having our couples go ahead and do sort of a side hug. We like to call this a formal side hug. And then if our bride has a bouquet, we have her grab her bouquet with the other hand. And then our groom, we would have him put his hand in his pocket. Now, if this is a couple session and not during the wedding, so like for example, for an engagement session, then we would have our bride go ahead and just rest her hand on the groom. That way she can go ahead and show off that ring. And it just gives them something to do with their hands.
And this is like a very foundational pose. I believe that you can build up from that pose on.
Yes.
And that's really good.
Yes. We like to start with this as a foundational pose and then kind of build from there. So obviously we want to get that formal shot out of the way. So one of them looking at the camera, smiling. And then from there you can have them look at each other and you can have them kiss. And other variations of this would be like give her a kiss on the temple and so forth. But this pose kind of like has them get together and get comfortable in front of the camera to get some of those formal photos in the beginning.
And I know that sometimes you like to say that, which is very good. You like to tell every one of the people that talks to us is we want them to always be doing something with their hands, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. So in order to make the photo look nice and polished and not, make them feel awkward, we always suggest is have them always do something with their hands.
Yeah.
So whether that is putting it in their pocket, putting it on each other, holding something, it's just gonna make the photo look more relaxed. It's gonna make them feel more relaxed, and it's just a good way to kind of start everything.
So once you're done with the initial pose, you can move on to the next. We like to move to a pose called the stroll, which is simple walking. Since we already have the couple that is already looking at us, we just have them hold hands and start walking towards us. We try to give them some space and we give them instructions to talk to each other, tell each other some jokes. We just want to capture the essence of the couple just moving or strolling towards us.
So I really love this photo as kind of a transition from that formal, you know, just getting used to having a camera in front of you to getting more of those candid shots. I think this is just a perfect transition. Everybody, you know, has walked together, so it's something easy that they can do. And it really starts getting those genuine, candid reactions that we just love so much in photos. Just having them just simply look at each other and kind of just talk, and even if they're talking about, you know, how they feel at the moment, I really love that transition step from that first pose. I think it makes some really beautiful images that really just show off their personality and helps, again, make them more comfortable in front of the camera.
And as a photographer, I think that this pose provides you with so many opportunities to capture different things, because you can capture close-ups, you can capture wide shots, you can capture details of them holding their hands, you can capture just their smile, you can capture some panoramas, I mean, depending on how far or how close you are. It provides so many photo opportunities that you can take advantage as you're transitioning from the first pose to this second pose.
And then some variations of this, so once you have them kind of just walk forward, you can also have them walk backwards, and that will give you like different scenes and different poses, but it's really just the same thing.
And it also gives you time as a photographer. If you're a new photographer and you're trying to go through your time, the walking back also gives you time to think, to recompose, think about what comes next, look over your plan, because it's giving you that space in between you and the couple.
Absolutely, which leads us to our next pose. So now that they're kind of already a little bit loose, they've been walking, they've been talking, the next pose that we like to do is called the arm hug. And basically what it is you're just gonna have the bride go ahead and kind of hug on to the groom's arm. And you can first start with just having them look at the camera, they can look at each other, you can have the bride kind of lay her head down. And then some other variations of this is that you can actually have them walk and kind of continue that stroll, but now instead of their hands just holding onto each other, you can have them kind of like hugging on, and it just gets them closer and gets some really nice, fun, sweet shots there.
That's absolutely right, and we like to tell them to just take it easy on this pose, just walk slowly. They can even look at each other, glance at each other, have those very emotional moments where they can connect, where their eyes are connecting, and you can have a lot of opportunities to take different photos as well, because you can move back, you can, you know, take those details as well.
Yeah, and I really love this pose for getting some detail photos of the ring, because you're really having them kind of like hold on to each other, and I think it makes a really cute ring shot and also just a beautiful portrait.
And then the next pose that we love is the anticipation shot. We just have the couple look at each other, face each other, get really close, sort of like they're about to kiss, but we don't have them kiss right away. We start taking some of those photos right there where they're making that connection. They are laughing. They're like sort of like having a private moment, very intimate. I like this pose a lot because you can see the love and you can see the chemistry between the couples when you have them in this pose.
And usually when you have couples kind of face each other in the shot, some direction that you can give to help kind of get them closer is either tell them, you know, put your noses together, put your foreheads together. That just kind of tells them exactly how close you want them. And I know at first they're like, oh my God, we're super close, but it just gives you those really intimate, sweet shots. Again, in this pose, you can also have them go for a kiss. Sometimes I like to tell them to kiss with their teeth, and that just kind of makes them giggle because they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, whatever it means to you. And it really gets those sweet, intimate kind of anticipation shots that we've been kind of talking about, where it's like, you know, you can feel the love, you can feel that they're about to kiss, but they're not quite there, and it makes for some sweet images. Now, the next pose that we love to do with our couples is called the wraparound hug. So basically what it is you just have your groom kind of wrap his arms around his bride, and this just makes for a sweet little hug there. One of the things that you're going to want to make sure to tell them is to wrap around on the top and not to be like a choking hug, but more of like, okay, I'm hugging you from behind in the kitchen. I think this makes for just a very sweet interaction between the couple. You can have them look back at each other. You can have the groom kind of kiss the forehead or kiss the temple, or even whisper something in the bride's ear. I think it really just makes for a real genuine connection, and helps bring out that love that they have for each other. One of the other things you can do to just continue to add movement and playfulness in this pose is you can tell them to kind of sway to the side or sway back and forth. Again, it just provides a really playful pose that really captures their love.
And now let's go into our last pose, which is the subtle glance. In this pose, we just have the couple just walk away from the photographer, just walk away from the camera, and as they're walking away, we just have them look inwards back into the camera 180 degrees, where both the bride and groom can be looking at the camera, and we can also have some variations of this pose where the bride is looking at the camera while the groom is looking at the bride, and you know, those poses are also really nice, really good, and they are very candid, I would say.
Yeah, and again, some other variations you can do with this pose is have them lean in for a kiss. It's again bringing that kiss photo, but just a different viewpoint because it's from the back, and you know, while they're walking, and it provides for a really nice kind of candid Vogue shot. I really enjoy the shot a lot, and it's definitely one of those staple pieces that you want to have in your portfolio. Now, I hope that you guys have found these poses useful, and that you could eventually find a way to fit them into your next session. Again, these are just some of the poses that we like to incorporate that we have seen helps couples just break the ice with the camera. Again, you have to remember that a lot of our couples have never been in front of the camera, so you want to start with things that are easy, that are gonna get beautiful imagery, and that are eventually gonna make them feel comfortable in front of the camera to go ahead and show their love.
And I don't know, I mean, but if you have any other poses that you use as your foundational poses, or that you think that are really good, share it down in the comments. I mean, this is a growing community. We want to learn as well as we want to teach. So if you have things that are really good and you want to share them with other people so they can also learn, make sure you drop those those details down in the comments, and make sure to, you know, look over the descriptions. We have a lot more things going on in there, and we hope that you enjoy this video. And make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we put another video, and see you guys next time.